Well, there you go. Closing the barn door after the horse gets out. Hey guys, it's Devin Harrington, the average Gen Xer. Welcome back to my channel. On this channel, I talk about things that interest me, and today we are talking about the regretful fathers, or some of them, from the I Regret Having Children Facebook page, which I have not checked out in quite some time. So I wanted to see what's going on there. As always, I do not read these anonymous stories from people who are not loving parenthood to mock or shame them in any way. I read them so that maybe a few people will come across my content and it can help them make a more informed decision about whether or not they want to have kids. And forums like this Facebook group and the Regretful Parents subreddit are really the first place where people can go and anonymously vent and share their story and find other people who feel the same way and are willing to talk about this historically very taboo subject. So, I am a child-free person, and some of these posts are like scary short stories, and they just give me such a jolt of adrenaline imagining myself in the person's shoes. Let's check them out. Okay, first story. They don't have titles on them. They all are just goes right into the story. I'm in a bad spot right now. I've never wanted kids. In fact, I joined this page years ago to remind me of that and to keep from making mistakes that could lead to a child, even while on dating apps. If she had kids, hard pass. If she put anything in her profile about wanting kids, I wasn't interested. I ended up dating this woman. We've only been together 6 months, and she seemed like the right package. Apparently, an accident happened somewhere because we found out a few days ago she is pregnant. Her attitude about having kids seemed to flip in an instant. Ugh. She wants to keep it and won't even consider an abortion. I'm devastated. God, this poor guy. Her, I was legitimately about to set up an appointment for a vasectomy when we found out. Oh, God. Well, there you go. Closing the barn door after the horse gets out. My only options are to stay and be absolutely miserable or jump ship and pay child support. If a woman can opt out and get an abortion within a certain time frame in states where you still can, which we live in one, then a man should be able to do the equivalent and sign a legally notarized document in the same time frame, releasing him from any liability. Wow. That's not practical, I don't think, but I see where he's coming from. I mean, it's only fair, I guess. Given the option, the woman could make the decision not to have the baby at that time. In my state, a man can sign away his parental rights and not be held responsible in any way, but the woman has to agree and sign off on it, which I know she won't do because she said it's either be involved or leave and pay child support. Though she said she wouldn't hold it against me if I couldn't handle it and didn't want to be involved. I mean, that's something. But child support seems like plenty to hold against someone, given that we've discussed about not wanting kids. Oh, so they had already had the conversation. They both seemed to be child free, and then she got pregnant and changed her mind, which you hear pretty often in these stories. But I'm surprised that all of the people who identify as child free end up posting on these forums. Okay, this poor guy. I feel so trapped. I never wanted this for my life. In a way, it feels like I've been R word. Either situationally, if I stay, or financially, if I leave, I'm screwed. If I had boatloads of money stashed away she didn't know about, I'd gladly pay the full 18-year sum of the child support to walk away and never look back. I wish I could go back to the day I met her and walk the other way. It's so selfish of her to choose to bring a kid into the world knowing its father won't want them. Yeah, he has a point. I'm not thinking of unaliving myself, but there are definitely lower points in my life where if this would have happened at one of those times, I would have ended it. I'm the end of the bloodline of my father's side. Same girl, same, of the family. My father's side of the family. And I was really happy to be going down on that sinking ship when it was my time. It's not just the responsibility or financial liability. The thought of a human being walking this earth that is a direct descendant of me makes me want to vomit. I don't know what to do anymore. Oh my God. Oh, this poor guy. And this poor girl. I mean, it really sucks how easy it is for pregnancy to happen to the people who don't want, who don't want to be pregnant. I have said on this channel before, I wish there was some osmosis or something by which, a woman who doesn't want kids could give her fertility to someone who does, but I realize I'm just dreaming. Okay, next story. I have been extremely reluctant to post my story on here because of the extreme guilt I've felt saying to myself out loud, I regret having kids. But here goes. I married my wife after being with her for 5 years. And even after we were married, we couldn't keep our hands off each other. She was very aware my previous relationship failed due to lack of intimacy and assured me that would never happen with us because she had a very high sex drive. After a year after marriage, we decided to have our first child. The moment she got pregnant, our sex life came to a screeching halt. I was told by her doctor that a couple's sex life could go either way during a pregnancy. She may want it constantly or not at all. It ended up being the latter. But I said to myself, it's just 9 months, suck it up, and things will go back to normal. No, you dumbass. No. That's the point. Nothing goes back to normal. Unfortunately, they didn't. It was another 11 months after our child's birth before we started having sex again. And even then, it was only happening once every 2 to 3 weeks. As time progressed over the next year, our sex life very slowly began to improve, and we were up to once a week. Geez, this guy keeping score. I mean, she had a baby. She then asked me if we could begin trying for our second child. I told her, okay, but on the condition that our sex life doesn't go down the toilet the way it did the last time. And she promised me that would definitely not happen again. So we began trying. So much so that every day I got home from work, she was waiting for me in the bedroom and didn't want to waste any time getting busy. Within a month, she was pregnant again, and we couldn't have been happier. That is, until the same pattern began again, as it did when she got pregnant with our first child. Only this time, I couldn't have imagined or prepared myself for what was about to come. The next 11 years would be the worst of my life. Within 3 months of bringing home our second and third, we had twins, by the way. They were always brought into our bed to sleep. Oh my God. Within 3 months. Wow. No matter how much I fought her on it, she insisted on them sleeping in our bed because it was easier and they wouldn't cry constantly. This left us zero chance of intimacy. This dude needs to settle the fuck down. I mean, there's porn out there for a reason. Leave her alone. She's got twins to breastfeed. Some guys, so annoying. This left use This left us zero chance of intimacy. I eventually began sleeping in the spare room, which was supposed to be the kids' room. We've had sex once since she last got pregnant. Anytime I've tried to bring up our sex life, it's caused a fight. Yeah, because she's got 3 little kids. And she's often used the argument that that's all I ever care about. My oldest sleeps in his room, and my twins, almost 11 now, still sleep in my bed with my wife. Uh-oh. Oh no, they're 11. Oh shit. Though half these years though half these years I turned to cocaine to help me cope with the lack of intimacy, and obviously it just created more problems, but it was my only escape from the reality I was in. Pretty sure it wasn't your only escape there, bub. It's the escape you chose. I do love my kids very much, but I look at them with a little resentment, even though I know I shouldn't. I've gone through my entire 30s in a sexless marriage. My wife hasn't even kissed me in at least 2 years. Oh, no, no. I work far too much to be able to go to counseling. I'm too broke to be able to even consider divorce. I feel like I'm basically in prison and often think this never would have happened if I didn't have kids. I apologize if I sound like a selfish or terrible person. Well, that's a nice caveat at the end. Poor guy. He sounds like he's losing his mind. Okay, story number 3. I'm 40. I have a child that I never wanted. The child's mother lied to me, and she told me she medically couldn't get pregnant. Oh my God. Oh, and he says, and I was dumb enough to believe her. Never, ever, ever, ever take that for granted. Nature finds a way. She couldn't get pregnant because her husband had undergone a vasectomy. She never told me she was married until it was too late. Jesus, this guy did get hoodwinked. I never loved her and never wanted a relationship with her, let alone a child. We were just hooking up. Oh no. I never touched her since. Anyway, my child was born and I stepped up. It's heartening to see how many men do step up, but then they end up on this Facebook group. It was good for a while, and then I found someone and I got married. Of course, my child's mother made it extremely difficult for my wife, so much so that now my wife has nothing to do with my child. I tried to insert myself in my child's life, more due to being pushed by my wife. We went to court for more visitation time. The court reminded me that I'm just a father and refused any additional time above the standard order. Geez, I'm kind of surprised in this day and age to hear that. That really sucks. I feel like I was trying very hard to do the right thing, and I blame the mother more than anything for making me fight. I was upset, but started to realize that I didn't actually want my kid anymore. Oh, I didn't want my kid more. I'm glad I don't have to deal with the child on a regular basis. Now I only see my kid every other weekend, and sometimes I hope they just forget about visiting and don't come. I have very little connection to this child. We don't hardly communicate and have nothing in common. I have tried to plan activities for us to enjoy, but the kid doesn't want to do anything. I'm at a loss. I don't even know how to let go of this resentment towards my kid and his mother. I don't even communicate with her. I hate her more than anything for doing that to me. Good God. That is tragic. Sorry about the glare on these glasses. It's driving me crazy. Okay, fourth story, and this will be the last one today. My girlfriend got pregnant 3 months into our relationship, and my life slowly crumbled ever since. Oh, I already feel sad for him. I was clear from the beginning of the relationship that I did not want kids at that point in my life. She, on the other hand, wanted kids and routinely joked about getting pregnant. Oh God, please don't let this go in the direction I think it's going. Both of us were beyond stupid to not use contraceptives at their full effectiveness. But that's a story of the past now. Damn, boy, what were you thinking? Once we realized she was pregnant, we discussed an abortion until she ruled that it is her body, her choice. I must agree. I respected that and also agreed to step up and become the father I never wanted to be. We had a shotgun wedding in the courtroom just a week before the baby was born. Oh my goodness. After the delivery, my wife had a change of heart and could not even hold the baby. She would have anxiety attacks when the baby cried. So taking care of the baby and my wife became my full-time job. Jeez. Now she says she doesn't picture a child in our future plans at all and is considering adopting out. He doesn't say how old the baby is now, but Jesus. Apparently, she has been considering adoption the whole pregnancy, but did not fill me in until the baby was born and my entire family was attached. I burned through my life savings of over 40K, and now I'm left in the same situation, only now I'm broke and my construction business is in pieces. If we end up adopting out this child, I feel too humiliated to continue living in this small town I was born in, and I want to move away. Everyone knows me here, and I can't emotionally handle the thought of explaining to 100 plus family and friends why I adopted out our child. Wow, poor guy. I have no motivation anymore to hang out with friends or pursue my hobbies. I wish I wouldn't wake up in the morning and continue living in this nightmare hellscape we created. My life used to be filled with outdoor activities, trips, and new experiences, but now that time and money is consumed with taking care of my kid and my wife, I feel stuck with the stupid decisions we made. And now I get to watch the last of my prime years disappear while I raise a child that neither of us really wants. Oh, so stupid why women do that. That's terrible. Uh, don't get me wrong, I love my child and will provide everything for her, but I hate every second of being a parent. The lack of autonomy and the lack of autonomy and independence is paralyzing for an introverted and adventurous couple like us. My sympathy goes out to others who are in similar situations. I would like to say there is a light at the end of the tunnel, but it doesn't seem that way. God, that's really sad. And see, I always think all of those sad situations could have been prevented with a single lowly condom. Um, anyway, that's all I have for you today, folks. If you like this video, please give it a like. Please comment. Tell me what you think of these stories. If you like the storytelling videos. And I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much.